Michaela Vernava along with Mike Cole, and since we're heading into the divisional rounds of the NFL playoffs, I want to take a look at the NFC, the Green Bay Packers matchup with the Arizona Cardinals on Sunday. Let's do some over-under.
Sounds good. Yeah, let's do it.
Sounds good? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in Week 16, Aaron Rodgers was sacked 8 times by the Cardinals. So over-under, let's say 6 sacks on Rodgers with that Arizona pass rush.
Whoa, got to think about it for a second. Okay. I think, a lot of this stems on whether or not David Bakhtiari is ready to go. One of the Packers' offensive tackles has been dinged up, hasn't played in a while. He's got an ankle injury. So, I think he wasn't on the field for that Week 16 game in Arizona. The Packers lost by 30. Rodgers got chased all over the field. It was bad, real bad. But I think if they get him back, and he's practiced this week, he was close to being back last week against Washington. If they get him back, that should stabilize things. So I'm going to go under just barely.
Tyrann Mathieu is going to be out of this game, so over under 100 receiving yards for James Jones.
Ooh, I'm going to go over on that. But this isn't, James Jones played well last week in Washington, and we've seen at times that this guy can get real hot. We've also seen at times he can kind of disappear. But if the Packers are going to move the ball through the air at all, it's got to go to Jones because they're probably going to be without Devontae Adams, who suffered a knee injury. It couldn't come at a worse time. The guy played real well last week in Washington, so that's a bummer for them. Secondly, Patrick Peterson, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, he's probably going to be shadowing Randall Cobb all afternoon or all night. So that takes away him probably. So you got to throw the ball to somebody. So it's probably going to be James Jones. Rodgers loves James Jones. When the Packers are playing well, Jones is a big part of the offense.
All right, well, Eddie Lacy had 12 carries in that Week 16 loss. Over under 12 carries this time.
Got to be over. If it's under, the Packers are in a lot of trouble or something really weird happened because, you look at that Week 16 game, and I think a lot of that's dictated by gameplay. And, the Packers got behind so early, so fast that, you're not going to give the ball to a guy like, to the running back, especially a guy like Lacy, who's, one of those slower, just game management type running backs. I think the game plan for the Packers this week has to be a lot of Lacy early. We saw last week they found that running game against the bad Washington run defense. This Arizona defense, a lot better, one of the best defenses in football, and they've been good against the run at most points this season. In their 3 losses, though, they're giving up an average of 150 yards per game in those losses. So I think the Packers are going to try to exploit that. And kind of like I said earlier, getting the run game going, especially with Lacy, that's going to make it a lot easier to protect Aaron Rodgers. So I'm expecting a lot of Eddie Lacy in this game, a lot more than we saw in Week 16, that's for sure.
All right, thanks, Mike. Make sure to keep it on NESN.com for all your NFL news.